Leaf is the flattened lateral outgrowth of the stem which is formed on the branch or which is developing from the node of the stem and having a bud in the axil. There are the different types of the leaves. These leaves are of different types. The different types of the leaves are which are classified into the simple and compound leaves. In this diagrammatic picture we can see this is a leaf which is divided into the simple leaf and compound leaf. Compound leaf of different types, pinnately compound and palmately compound leaf. Now this pinnately compound leaf is of again different types, unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate and decompound type of leaf. Now this unipinnate again is of two types, peripinnate and imperipinnate. Now here this compound leaf again as this is another type, that is palmately compound leaf, and these palmately compound leaves are unifoliate, bifoliate, trifoliate, quadrifoliate and multifoliate. This is the flow chart for the different types of the leaves. One of the type of leaf is which is very common, occurred in most of the plants. These are the simple leaves. Now what is the simple leaf? When the leaf consists of a single blade or single leaf blade, many times we say this is the simple leaf. Why this is called a simple leaf and how it is become a simple leaf? That when the leaf consists of a single leaf blade that may be entire or incised to any depth but not reach to the midrib. Means there may be the incision in the leaf but that is not reached to the rachis or the midrib and that do not form the number of leaflets. Means this leaf is not broken into a separate lobes or the leaflets. For example, in case of mango leaf, in case of China rose, and there are the lot of example of the simple leaf in which that leaf blade is single, that is not incised and that do not form the number of leaflets. So in this picture we can see this is the simple leaf. This is the leaf of China rose, this is the leaf of mango. So this leaf that shows the single blade, that's why this is called as the simple leaf. Another type of the leaf that is called as compound leaf. Now when the leaf lamina is divided into a number of leaf-like lobes or the segment, that segment is called as the leaflet and free from each other, that are not connected by any lamina, these are called as the compound leaf. Means here this leaf lamina is incised up to the rachis and that form a number of lobe-like structure which are free from each other. These lobe-like structure which are formed, these are called as the leaflets. Now this compound leaf again is of two types, pinnately compound and palmately compound leaf. So what is this pinnately and what is the palmately compound leaf? In this picture we can see here this is the pinnately compound leaf. So here the number of leaflets which are formed here which are arise from a different point. In case of palmately compound leaf, from the tip of the petiole there is a rise of the number of leaflets. Means these leaflets are arise from a single point. No doubt there is a incision in a leaf, but the number of leaflets are arise from a single point and that form the finger arise from the palm. This forms such type of the structure. So that's why these are called as the palmately compound leaf. Now this pinnately compound leaf, what is the pinnately compound leaf? The midrib or the rachis which bears laterally the leaflets and arrange opposite to or alternate manner. These are known as pinnately compound leaf. Now here the number of leaflets which are arranged in an opposite or alternate manner. Now here there is a formation of a number of leaflets and these leaflets are arranged in an opposite or alternate manner. So on the basis of the number of leaflets which are formed and on which rachis that leaflets are formed, there are the again different types of the pinnately compound leaf. That is unipinnately compound leaf, bipinnately compound leaf, tripinnate, and where where there is not a defined number of pinnae or the rachis, that leaf is called as the decompound leaf. So we will see here one by one. First is the unipinnately compound leaf. What is the unipinnately compound leaf? When the midrib of the compound leaf directly bears the leaflet, that is called as unipinnate leaf. Means on the rachis there is a direct arise of the leaflet. Here we can see this is the rachis or the midrib on which there is a formation of the number of leaflets. Means there is a direct arise of the leaflets on the main rib or main midrib or the midrib or the primary rachis. So this is called as unipinnately compound leaf. Now this unipinnately compound leaf on the basis of the number of leaflets which are formed again is of two types, peripinnate and imperipinnate. What is the unipinnately compound leaf? When the number of leaflets are even in number. Even in number means, for example, there is a formation of 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Such type of leaflets are formed. When such type of leaflets are formed in that leaf is called as the peripinnately compound leaf. For example, in case of cassia. In case of cassia, we can see here the number of leaflets are formed in a pair. This is the one pair, this is the another pair. So the number of leaflets are even in number. Either it is 4, 6, 8 or 12. So because of this is called as the peripinnately compound leaf. Another type of unipinnate compound leaf, that is imperipinnate. When the number of leaflets odd in number, these are called as imperipinnate. Now here we can see in the rows there are the 5 leaflets, 2, 2 and 1. So this is the odd in number. The number of leaflets are odd. That's why this is called as imperipinnately compound leaf. So these are the unipinnately compound leaf. Another one, bipinnately compound leaves. When the compound leaf is twice pinnate, that is midrib produces again a second rachis which bears the leaflet, that is called as bipinnate compound leaf. Now here in this picture we can see this is the primary rachis or the main rachis on which formation of secondary rachis. Here is also the secondary rachis, and on these secondary rachis the number of leaflets are formed in a pair. Now here we can say this is the primary rachis and again there is a rise of secondary rachis, means here is a twice pinnate and on which there is a formation of number of leaflets. That's why this is called as bipinnately compound leaf. For example, in case of gold mosaical pinia or gold moor, there is a formation of bipinnately compound leaf. Again another one, that is tripinnately compound leaf. When the compound leaf is thrice pinnate, means there is a formation of primary, secondary and tertiary rachis. But here when the compound leaf is thrice pinnate, that is secondary rachis produces again a tertiary rachis, means there is a main rachis, then on which there is a secondary rachis, and on secondary rachis there is a formation of tertiary rachis or the midrib which bears leaflets, that is known as tripinnately compound leaf, or that leaf is tripinnate. The best example of this tripinnately compound leaf is a moringa plant, that in Marathi that is called as shevga, and this is commonly called as a drumstick. So in this diagram or the picture we can see this is the main rachis, primary rachis on which there is a secondary rachis, and again there is a formation of the rachis. Now this rachis is the tertiary rachis. On that tertiary rachis, formation of the leaflets. So when such type of condition is occurred, that is called as tripinnately compound leaf. Again the fourth type, that is decompound leaf. When the compound leaf is more than thrice pinnate, means secondary rachis produce tertiary, and again there is a formation of the number of rachis, and this cannot be defined. This cannot be defined means there is a formation of number of rachis. Such type of leaf is called as decompound leaf. We can't say there is a number, how many number of the rachis are formed there. So because of this leaf is called as the decompound leaf. And the example is Parthenium, that is called as Congress grass. Another best example is coriander. In Marathi we call it as the sambar. So in that leaf, this leaf is the decompound leaf. So these are the different pinnately compound leaf. And another type of leaf is the palmately compound leaf. What is this palmately compound leaf? When all the leaflets are attached at a common point at the tip of the petiole known as the palmately compound leaves. In another way, if we say leaf lamina is incised up to the tip of petiole so that the leaflets appears like a finger on the palm. And because of this is called as palmately compound leaf. Like our palm, on which there is a formation of the fingers from a single point, but there is an incision of these number of fingers. These fingers are separate from each other, but this is joined at a common point. So that's why this is called as the palmately compound leaf. According to the number of leaflets present, these are of different types: unifoliate, bifoliate, trifoliate, quadrifoliate, and again there is also the another type that is called as a multifoliate palmately compound leaf. Now here first of all, if we see the unifoliate compound leaf, single leaflet is joined on the tip of the petiole, that is called as unifoliate compound leaf. Now here the example is citrus. In case of citrus, this is the petiole and these winged petiole on which there is a formation of a single leaflet. This may look like a simple leaf, but it is not a simple leaf, it is a compound leaf, and it is a palmately compound leaf. Another one is the bifoliate. Two leaflets are joined at a single tip of the petiole, at the tip of the petiole at a single point, that is called as bifoliate compound leaf or bifoliate palmately compound leaf. Third type is trifoliate palmately compound leaf. Three leaflets are originating from the tip of petiole or at a single point. These are called as trifoliate palmately compound leaf. The example is oxalis. This is the very common plant, and here we can see one leaflet, another leaflet, and this is the third leaflet, which is arise from a single point from the tip of petiole. So that's why this is called as trifoliate palmately compound leaf. Another one, quadrifoliate. Four leaflets are originating from the tip of petiole at a single point. The best example is Marsilia. We have seen this many times. We have seen this plant in a practical, that is Marsilia plant. This is a hydrophytic one, and in that Marsilia plant we can see here 1, 2, 3 and 4. These four leaflets are arise from the tip of petiole, that is from a single point, and this is the petiole. So because of this is called as the quadrifoliate palmately compound leaf. The example is Marsilia plant. And another one is multifoliate. More than 4 leaflets are originating from the tip of petiole, or that is from a single point of the petiole, that is from the tip of petiole, that is called as a multifoliate palmately compound leaf. There are the number of examples, for example bombex, and there is also the number of examples of these palmately compound leaf. So this is all about the different types of the leaf. That is simple leaf, compound leaf. Compound leaf is again divided into the pinnately compound, palmately compound. Pinnately compound is unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate and decompound. Palmately compound is unifoliate, bifoliate, trifoliate, quadrifoliate and multifoliate. So this is all about the different types of the